Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into The Grit Life. Today we have another special guest, Mike C. the Champ. Thank you for coming out. We have known each other for a long time, and the thing I love about you is the consistency of what you do. I can think back to 10 years ago, plus more than when we met, and you have been continually building a digital brand. You're an artist, you're a businessman. You have your hand in so many things. And the constant aspiration for greatness and whatever it is you do is something that I admire about you.
Man, I appreciate
and not everybody has that, right? So what that reminds me of is is grit. And that's like why you're here on the show, is because there's so many people in my life that I know that are living a life of passion and perseverance. They're gritty, like they have solid principles. They're self-aware enough to know what they're capable of and how they're going to use what they have in their life to propel them forward.
Yeah.
And we all have different traits and characteristics and resources available to us. But those who put in the actions, those who put in the effort, are the ones who get to reap the rewards. And that's what I'm all about. That's what Luis is all about. And I know that's what you're about.
Yeah.
So, man, today's conversation is about grittiness, and we want to explore more about that in your own life and journey.
Let's do it.
Welcome.
Let's do it. Man, I appreciate y'all for having me.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump into like a story about grittiness and how you've had a setback and come back from that.
Well, like you said, we've been knowing each other for a while, but for those that don't know me, I'm Mike C. the Champ. I've been doing music a long time. I don't want to tell y'all how long I've been doing music. Might tell y'all how old I am. We don't need to know about it.
It's not an age thing.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing but a number.
And the only number that matters is that bag.
That's
know what
right.
I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I do music. I'm an engineer. Whatever I can do, I'm a hustling man. If I can figure out how to do it, I'm doing it.
That's
you
right.
know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, a jack of all trades, I would call myself. You know what I'm saying?
So, again, I believe so strongly in this concept of like building a digital brand.
Mm-hmm.
But something I want to say about that is like that game is not for the meek of heart.
Oh, it's not.
It's not for the weak, right? Because to aspire to do anything, you're going to have to fail. You're going to have to be laughed at. You're going to have to cut off people that ain't really for you. You're going to have to learn how to connect with new people that are for you and can support you in who you want to be.
Yeah.
There's so many dynamics to that. And I know for all of us, we've been on that journey and it's still not over, right? Really, that journey's never truly over. But man, it can be hurtful and lonely, and you have to make a lot of bad decisions to learn what good decisions are. So in your journey as an artist, and you're one of the few people that I know, only people that I know that has sold his music to video games, and you've gotten record deals, and you're continually getting thousands of dollars in checks for features and to be flown out places, and you're always shooting music videos. I mean, you're doing a lot, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't find there's a lot of people that talk the talk, but then there's people that walk the walk, and like that's why we connect so strongly, is because you let your actions speak for you, right? And so tell me a little bit about that journey. Why do you find it so important to continue to create content, put out new music, in that whole hustle mindset?
Well, content is important, man. It really keeps you relevant, and it keeps the people wanting to watch. Without content, it's boring. It's like watching a rerun, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I got a lot of people that help do my social media stuff for me, and they constantly telling me, hey, record this, put this. Like you like, put your camera on and just record this, you know what I'm saying? So, in that aspect, I'm always recording something and sending it to people. Hey, what y'all check this, take this, da. And some people like, nah, and then other people like, yeah, put it up. I mean, you can't lose having content, even if it's bad. You know what I'm saying? It gets people talking.
Yeah, and that's the true dynamic.
Yeah.
But what I'm asking is, why do you feel that you're worth looking at and saying? And not in a mean way, but everyone has to answer this. Like, if you're going to create content, what is the purpose? Like, why do you do that?
Because, man, I love music, and I feel like I have a message. So my content helps me get my message out. You know what I'm saying? It also helps me, if I'm promoting my businesses, it helped me get my business out as well.
Yes.
Without content, it's basically you just swimming in the like galaxy. You're another star, just swimming in the galaxy,
floating.
You know what I'm
through
saying?
The ether.
Yeah.
And so again, I love that, because it all comes down to having the first law of success with Napoleon Hill is having a definite purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And like you just said, for you have a message, you have a culture and an influence that you're trying to introduce to the world, and you believe so strongly in it that you'll put money, time, and effort into pushing that out and to get other people to adapt it.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is like fundamental business and commerce. Like, I love that shit. And so, like, I just got done reading this book called The Business of Expertise.
Okay.
And so this whole book is about creating a structure or a frame where you can charge people for the expertise that you have in your head. And it's the difference of charging for the implementation of what you know. Like, I know how to make videos, so pay me to make you a video. Well, that's the implementation. But what I'm transitioning to is like the business of expertise. I want to be paid for the strategy and the concepts that I know, and to help consult people achieve certain goals. And I've seen you go through that as well, because you yourself are an artist, but you got the label. I see you do a lot of development with other artists, and you're using the skills and the expertise that you have to help cultivate new revenue streams in other people. And that's fascinating in and of itself.
Oh yeah, features are a big part. You know, I feel if I can get $1,000 for a feature and a few points, man, you never know. Shit, that song might blow up, and
that's right.
It's another bag forever.
It's taking those chances in life.
Yeah.
You know, you're investing into features and artists, or you know, blending out your name and stuff. We invest money into like businesses or starting new brands. It's all about taking the risk. No risk, no reward. Right, Luis?
Yeah.
What do you know about risk?
No
You don't know nothing about no risk?
You
Tell
have
us.
to take the risk. I mean, like, right now, having you here and learning from, like, the setbacks and dealing with life. I mean, tell us a little bit more about, like, before we were starting to record the show, you were talking about, like, sometimes in life, you're going out knowing that you are gonna have to fail, and people are gonna like be excited for you, even though the bad guy is gonna be the one that's gonna be winning. But you're just like, no matter what, you're gonna show up. So I like to hear that story about you coming out, fighting the fight, and even though you have a huge pressure of other people that are like maybe like either more talented or have have connections or have like like evil side of doing bad things to make it want to win. Like, how can you stay afloat on that type of situations?
So with me, I always tell myself, if you know you fail and you accept it, then you can figure out how to fix it.
Yeah.
If you never accept that you didn't make it, you didn't fail, then you always gonna be going in a circle. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no solution not accepting failure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I call myself Mike C. the Champ. I failed. I've accepted it, and that acceptance allowed me to persevere. You know what I'm saying? Become even stronger than I was before. Like, for instance, you know, when I was younger, a whole lot of things happened to where I lost my music. I had a record deal. I lost the first record deal. You know, I had to go spend some time in jail. But when I got back out, just because I lost my first record deal, it didn't mean Mike
can't go get a second.
Just quit. Hey, I already been there. I know what it looked like. I know what it took to get there.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by accepting failure. I failed, but that don't mean I didn't win, because at the same time, I got there. I knew I did what I needed to get there, and I can do it again.
Once you know it's possible,
You know
you can
what I'm
just 10x that thing and keep moving.
Yeah. So that was I feel like that was a big setback for me when I lost my first record deal. But then even though it was a setback, I feel like it made me stronger now because now I'm independent and able to do whatever I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Without a record deal. I take care of my family, you know what I'm saying? And take care of everything that we need doing my music now. It took a while, but that's the grit life, the perseverance to be able to continue, keep moving forward, even when the whole world is against you.
Yeah.
Or you feel like the world is against you.
It can definitely feel like that sometimes.
Yeah. So in that point, when you were starting to feel like, oh, this, like, I fail, you could have the option to say, I'm going to stay in the ground and just be there and lay down because I failed. Or, yeah, I failed, but let's stand up. So what got you to make that decision of like standing up and continue going, even though that you had a huge setback and you were in the ground? It's like, oh my goodness, you talk about being
easier.
Yeah, imagine like having to be like locked up and having to like no record. So that's your passion right there, and not be able to like have nothing of that, and now coming back to like, let's do it again. How you find the motivation, or how you got into like feeding yourself a good vibe to go back and fight the fight? At
first I was pissed. I was mad, so I was like, I was in the studio mad rapping. Like, man, fuck the record label. You know what I'm saying? That was like the motivation. And then I realized, well, like I said, acceptance, I realized that's over. But I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So let me get back to it. I can do it again. It's nothing. And I did. You know what I'm saying? I ended up going to E1 in New Jersey, doing my shit there, you know what I'm saying? Things happen. But this time when the things happened, it wasn't a setback, it was more family stuff, you know what I'm saying? So this time I made sure that I watched, I looked, and I learned everything about that business that I could learn from them. Yeah. You know, so I feel like I was like, well, I'm gonna go back home. But this time, I'm not going back home empty-handed. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't give me the bag. I got paid for the shows while I was there. Y'all didn't give me the bag, but y'all gave me the knowledge to go get the bag. Yeah. So that's where we're at now.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
Me and Lewis were talking before this about there's no better investment than investing into yourself. And we were both talking about, like, I'm paying for courses and books, and I'm constantly investing into my own knowledge and game. And Louis just told me about an amazing thing. You know who Grant Cardone is?
No.
Okay, well, Grant Cardone's this big motivational 10X. That book 10X, I've told you about it.
You told me about it.
Okay, well, that's the guy. But anyways, he's paying to go, you know, take his boot camps and things. And it's just like, again, this dynamic of saying, I know that I'm capable. I don't have the blueprints or the knowledge yet, but I can pay for that because we know that the game is to be sold and not told. So let's play that game and invest into ourselves. Let us get the knowledge because we all know that we can back it up with the actions. Yeah. I'm no stranger to hard work. I'm no stranger to failure. I know how to lick my wounds and accept failure and keep moving. But you know, I heard this amazing saying. It was like, in life, people are always looking for a map to follow to success. And it doesn't work like that. What life gives you is a compass. And instead of like having each step planned for you, you have a general direction in where you're going. And as long as you keep failing forward, taking actions, taking those stepping stones, you'll eventually find your authentic path. Yeah. Because critically, we're making decisions every day that affect us where we go in our journey, whether we get comfortable, whether we quit after we get knocked down. You know, at a certain point, those things are not acceptable. Yeah. Because I believe in myself too much. And again, I have a family. You have a family. You have a family. Yeah. We do not have the luxury to sit back and be like, I'm insulted or I've failed and I'm sad. So?
Keep moving.
Keep moving.
Yeah. Keep moving.
Come on. Quit being so emotional. Life, like, we live in a world that is dog eat dog, right? There's a lot of good things, and we can create tribes of love and family units, but at the end of the day, man, Just because you're not planning to steal and kill from other people doesn't mean other people aren't planning to steal and kill from you.
For real. You seen that movie, The Founder? It's the same thing.
Okay.
So the dude, Michael Keaton, you know, he plays like one of the guys that he ends up stealing McDonald's from the real McDonald's.
Oh, of course I saw that. Yes.
Like, I mean, like he
stole it.
was so business savvy that he made it to where they couldn't even use their own name on a restaurant anymore.
And so those things are real, right? And so we all know, and I talked about this in a previous episode of Grit Life, but it's like, as a hustler, as an entrepreneur, as a CEO, you have to be aware of certain things, right?
Yeah.
And knowing that there are people not for you is very part of that process.
Yeah, real process.
So yeah, that was a little tangent, but I don't know. It was just not giving up, feeling like you're important enough to do those things. You have a message to put out there. We know not to quit when we fail.
And can I say this?
That is grit.
Yeah.
There's at least 1 billion people, maybe more. I'm just putting a big number out, but there's 1 billion people. And every time we create content, there might be 1 million that don't like it, but then there may be 2 million that do.
Yeah.
Like everything isn't for everybody. And once you understand that too, that'll help also because like I said, that's part of accepting people not gonna like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then you got people that are gonna like you. Then you're gonna have people that be like, I don't care one way or another. So I mean, when you creating content, you just gotta keep that in mind, as you know what I'm saying? Because like you said, at the end of the day, man, you just gotta keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're for you or they're not for you. You know what I'm saying? Keep that grit, keep grinding, keep moving.
Yeah.
Because you create something out of nothing, right?
Yeah.
And I was gonna say that's the beautiful thing about the world that we live in is that there's these like sub-niche cultures, there's subcultures, there's sub-niches of like industries and genres, and within that there's very beautiful things that happen in a sense of community and relation to where, you know, we both like certain types of music and we can relate on that, and we like certain types of shows and we can relate on that, or we have different types of eating habits that we can relate on. There's beauty in that. And I also see in this world that we're living in, a lot of people are trying to get rid of all these like divisions, whether good or bad. Like we can't have no division. Like
you gotta like everybody.
You can't like meat and I don't like meat. That we just have to agree on nobody eats meat.
Yeah.
Like what? No, wait a minute. So again, I find that a very, very beautiful thing about this world, and we're not appreciating it enough of the diversity that is here. Look at this table.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, like these conversations that we're having, I appreciate them so much because it's not the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all come from different backgrounds and cultures, but here we are having like real principled conversations that relate and we all can relate to. I find that special.
Yeah.
It's why we're doing this.
But I have a quick question, Mike, in regards to you. Like, I mean, you're an artist. Obviously, you're a creator. You create content and all that. But once you start, like when you went to the setbacks, will you pick now business over passion, or what will you pick now to continue with the grit life, to make sure that you are continuously making the right move moving forward?
I feel like you can't have one without the other. You see me? Because if you don't have a business mind and you got a lot of friends, you know what I'm saying? Everything is kind of like you're doing it for nothing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Because you just doing it to just do
Soulless.
it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That business mind sets you apart. That business mind lets people know you're serious about your craft or your business or whatever that you have going. And without passion, you're not gonna care about your business. You're not gonna
lose interest too.
It's something they go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
That, like I said, the passion. When I lost my first record deal, I was so mad. I had that passion, and I went in there and just went in. You know. And then I realized, okay, I can get back there again. So the anger or frustration turned back to the grind, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm just going. I'm recording 15 songs a day now, recording albums in a week, you know what I'm saying? I have maybe 10,000 unreleased songs.
Wow.
Because every day I feel like I have to do that. You know, nobody tells me because I don't have a boss. Nobody wakes me up and say, you got to go do this, this, and this. Don't get me wrong. My wife, she'll tell me, hey, you might need to do this, and this, on top of the other stuff that I have to do, you know?
Oh, I feel that.
At the end of the day, man, when you really want something, when you really want to control or take control of your business in your life, you have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You have to make sure that you wake up every morning, because there's nobody gonna be there and makes you say, hey, did you do this?
Yeah.
Did you do this? And that's the difference between $5 and 10,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not everyone's no one is going to help make you a success.
No one.
No, like they're not going to force you to be successful.
They will help you when you become successful.
But you got to put in that initial
You have to
work.
put the
You got
work,
to want it. Ain't nothing worse than dealing with a person that doesn't want it, right? Like the cost of entry is just participation. Like when I meet people and it's like, oh, what do? You reading books? Are you starting any businesses? Are you pursuing any type of high value skills? No, I'm just doing this. I'm just hanging. Can't wait for the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I don't even get that. Like, what? Every day I wake up and I'm like,
Let's roll.
Yeah, let's roll. I feel like there's so much to do because the visions of the future that I have are so big, and I know I'm so ill-equipped right now that I can't waste time. Like, I have to learn. I have to try. I have to experiment.
Yeah, and something I want to hear from you, Mike, is like, this is a concept that it's happening right now in my life, is that it's when, and I read it from this book, it's if you don't win, at least you learn. As far as that, it's just like once your motivation starts wearing off, I mean, it's like you're starting to lose motivation. That discipline has to kick in and to boost it up. So tell us a little bit more about how you find that discipline, because you mentioned something like, hey, nobody's gonna wake you up at this time to go to do this and to do like 50 songs in one day and all that. Once you, like, that anger for those label records disappear, how do you find that discipline to continue going, or what that discipline looks like for you?
It's a mindset.
Okay.
If you don't want it, you're never gonna have discipline. You know what I'm saying? You have to want it. And what I mean by want it is you gonna have to wake up and make a routine. I have a routine.
Okay.
What is it? What is your routine?
Most of the times I'm up at 4 in the morning, making a lot of noise, being loud and shit. You know, I get up, I take my medicine, you know, wife goes to work, and shit, I'm in the studio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like the army. I do more before 9 o'clock than people do all day.
Yeah.
At 12 o'clock, man, I done feel like I had a full day. I done recorded 5 or 6 songs, or edited this, or mixed this, or sent out this, or went and checked paperwork that needed to be checked on something. I've done all of that by 12 o'clock. And when you come by, what I'm doing?
In the studio, working.
You know what I'm saying?
I bet you feel fulfilled when you do that type of routine.
I do.
Yeah.
But I'm also tired.
Yeah.
For in the morning,
work, man.
But nothing comes easy, right?
Yeah.
And if you want what others don't have, you have to be willing to do what others won't do.
Yeah.
And that's a prime example of that. Man. I can't say much more on top of that. I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So work hard, have the discipline. We all know that we have unlimited potential, but those who put the work in are the ones who get to reap those rewards. So what does grit come down to, man? It's like having a definite purpose, being consistent, cutting off people that ain't for you, finding, the right people to connect with. I definitely have found 2 people that I enjoy connecting with. I feel like we both inspire each other, and Mike, you doing a t-shirt business, you doing an album, you doing this,
Good.
man, tell me about it, man, so you doing this, you doing that, tell me about it. And I always congratulate people because that's the thing that I know that I want from people. Like, Jared, you started video for doctors?
Yeah.
Man, kudos to you, man. Like, what's it going on? How's that going? How are you gonna 10x that? I don't know, man, I don't know. Nobody's ever asked me that before. We need that. And for me, the grit life and even having these conversations, it was a selfish way to get that for myself.
Yeah.
To find people that will sit with me and talk about passion and perseverance. Like, oh, you fuck with that concept? Yeah, me too. Well, let's talk about that. Because I know that I need it. Because even though I know what I want to do and I have the high value skills, again, you can become unmotivated. Let alone like get a little success and then get comfortable and then not work as hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another trap that we fall into.
Yeah.
So all around, man, I'm just very grateful that you are participating in this. I'm grateful that I am participating in this because I know that I'm getting value out of it, and I hope that our audience gets value out of it.
Absolutely. Talking about the audience, I mean, Mike, for the people that are hearing you right now or listening to you on the podcast, if you had to give a recommendation or something to like a legacy for people that are hearing you, what would it be to basically continue fighting the fight? Even like that was powerful when you mentioned, like, even though you're right, like the person that was going to go to the ring to fight the fight knew that they're probably going to lose because this guy were like either stronger or better or had more connections and all that, but he still win and fight. And that's even more like it's more like what's it called, like
noble, heroic, it's more respectable.
Exactly. And what will you tell others in regards to that, to still go fight the fight, even though you know you're gonna lose? Why go do it?
There's a lesson from it. If you go in there and you fight and you give it your all, man, there's no way you lost. You know what I'm saying? Because there's always a lesson if you paying attention. The only time you lose if you didn't gain anything from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you went in there and you spent $50,000 on the stock market and you lost it, and you didn't learn why you lost it, you didn't see how you lost it, then you lost.
Yeah.
If you didn't go take the time to even figure out what happened, you lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when the face comes to the ring, the hero comes to the ring knowing that he's gonna lose, he goes out there and he fights like it's his last match. And the heel, he comes out and he just doing his thing, getting the audience ramped up, because he know in his mind that guy is gonna fight harder than him every time. He's gonna have to do something crazy or unthinkable to win.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have the same heart or perseverance as that other guy, knowing that he's coming to lose.
Yeah.
That guy knowing he's coming to lose is gonna go in there and be like, what did I learn from this loss?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it my all. I know I'm gonna lose. I'm giving it my all, but what did I learn from this? What can I take from that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's powerful. I think that right there, for the audience who's hearing this, what can I learn from this?
On that, I heard this saying the other day, or it was E.T. Johnson or whatever, that motivational guy, E.T., and he was like, you have to be prepared to be broken. And I think a lot of people, as we wrap this up, a lot of people in life try to go through life of like not getting hurt, trying to live in a bubble. And the gritty aspect of life is that you have to prepare to be broken, learn how to cope, learn how to fail forward. And it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of fearlessness. And, if anything, that's what we're all trying to attribute and aspire to. So,
absolutely.
Grit life, man. Thank you, Mike, for coming out.